Bloomberg NEF claims that Volkswagen will almost certainly catch up and pass Tesla with overall EV deliveries in 2024. But if we have a look at the facts, what's going on in the US right now with Volkswagen Group electric vehicle deliveries and what's going on worldwide, it seems to paint a very, very different picture. One has to wonder, what is going on here? Is there an agenda? Why are Bloomberg saying this when Volkswagen appears to be completely maxed out on capacity? It's sold every single EV it can build already this year worldwide. And yet its delivery numbers are actually collapsing and not growing. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. I've made, I think, nearly 1,700 videos over the past just over a year. So make sure you check some of those out. I'll show you what's really going on in the automotive industry, and it might not be quite what you think if you've been reading the mainstream media. In the US, for example, Volkswagen ID4 deliveries collapsed in the second quarter of 2022. Now, over 20,000 have been delivered so far, but deliveries have slowed down to only hundreds a month on average. Volkswagen's EV production appears to be stalling, not gaining momentum as the mainstream media would claim, would like to have you believe, it seems. Now, Mark Cade from Inside EVs says Volkswagen's car sales in the US further weakened after an already weak first quarter, which most likely is related to some serious supply challenges and limited availability of new vehicles. Now, I'm going to give you the numbers in just a moment, but let's put this in context and look at this article here from thedriven.io, which said, on the 9th of May 2022, Volkswagen has sold out of EVs for Europe and the United States until 2023. All of Volkswagen Group's electric vehicle inventory is now spoken for until 2023. CEO Herbert Diess said the German auto group covers not only its eponymous Volkswagen brand, but also Audi, Porsche, Seat, and Cupra, all of which make EVs. Now, in a report by the Financial Times, Diess said the automaker is sold out on electric vehicles in Europe and the US for the rest of 2022 as the company grapples with a global chip shortage and other issues to do with the Shanghai COVID shutdowns. Now, for context, Volkswagen actually sold and delivered, well, not sold, but delivered 99,000 electric cars in the first quarter of 2022 worldwide. That's about a third of what Tesla did, and about half of what BYD did. But the alarming thing is that Volkswagen reported 78,000 vehicle deliveries in the second quarter of 2022 in the US. That's 34% less than a year ago. The same exact thing is going on in China right now. Sales are down enormously. At the same time, Volkswagen ID4 deliveries decreased 71% year over year to 1,660, or 1.2% of the total volume. Volkswagen is basically not sending EVs to the US anymore. I mean, that's drip feeding. That's a minuscule number. And it's gone down, 71% decrease. I mean, this is 12 months. They've had 12 months to ramp up production, and it hasn't happened. I'm absolutely baffled as to what Bloomberg NEF thinks is going to happen over the next 2.5 years to completely reverse this trend and suddenly start delivering millions of electric cars worldwide. It just seems incredibly optimistic on behalf of Bloomberg, or just incredibly dishonest. And my friends, what I'm concerned about right now is the media. What is going on? I think some kind of, whether it's collusion, something weird is going on here, because these numbers, they don't align with what Bloomberg is saying. They just don't. There's no way of spinning this. No spin doctor, no matter how brand obsessed you are, no matter how much you love a company, you can't possibly spin this that way. Even Herbert Diess said this a few months ago, they can't actually start producing significant numbers of EVs until basically the end of 2025, when their big EV factory has actually finished being built. Now, that's the worst result since the launch of the ID4 in the United States. And considering a high number of orders, more than 40,000 reservations at the end of 2021, It's a sign that Volkswagen is not sending cars from Europe to the US, even though the orders are there and have been there for a long time. I mean, it's the middle of the year, 6 months, right? They had 40,000 orders outstanding at the end of 2021. What does that mean? That basically means there's probably about 34,000 customers or more. I'm assuming no one has ordered a single one for the whole of this year. That would be those numbers. But assuming there's been a few orders, there's probably at least 40,000 customers sitting in the US waiting for their cars who've been waiting for 6 months or more. And Volkswagen is just saying, too bad, we don't have the cars. Now, maybe things will improve later this year, as Volkswagen's plant in Zwickau is now running at 3 shifts. Again, production in Emden apparently is ramping up. However, there could also be a positive effect on deliveries as Volkswagen is going to be making EVs at the Chattanooga plant in Tennessee. That said, this is quite alarming to me. The reason being, right, here's just another number that I think points to what I'm trying to say. Q2, second quarter, 2021, Volkswagen delivered 5,756 electric cars, ID4s, right? Q2, 2022, they've got 12 months to prepare. They deliver 1/4 of that number, 1,660, right? They're sitting on 40,000+ orders. They know the demand's there. And they basically did nothing to actually, either they should have said to customers, no, we can't take your orders, cancel it. We can't do it. We're not going to do it. Even in a year's time. In a year's time from now, our production is going to be 25% of what it was, right? 25% of what it is today. It's going to be reduced by 75%. They didn't do that. They took the orders. People are sitting around waiting for 6 months or more and just probably potentially never to get a car. Based on the current production they're sending to the US, these people are not going to get a car for years. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. And the thing you've got to keep in mind is this is the only Volkswagen EV you can buy in the US. It's the only one. Customers don't have any other choice. So what's going to happen to Volkswagen's market share in the US, right? What's going to happen to it? I mean, people are saying Volkswagen are going to somehow start taking Ford and GM's cars share away. I can't see that happening. I mean, really, I think GM and Ford will probably ramp up production of EVs significantly faster in the US than what Volkswagen will. That's what it's looking like now anyway. Now, the story seems to me to be almost worse when you look at the worldwide sales of the Volkswagen ID4. I mean, for example, the ID4 ranks 9th in the world in terms of rankings of electric vehicle sales in May of 2022. Wuling Hongguang Mini EV, 34,000. BYD Song Plus, 32,000. Tesla Model Y, 28,000. Obviously, Model Y production massively constrained during that month. BYD Han, 24,000. Tesla Model 3, 23,000. BYD Chin Plus, 18,000. BYD Yen Plus, 12,000. Volkswagen ID4, 10,000. Now, that wouldn't be so bad, but the problem is Volkswagen doesn't have another single entrant in the top 20 worldwide. Not a single one. It's only got one car in this entire list of the top 20 worldwide electric vehicle sellers worldwide. And somehow Bloomberg NEF says that they're going to magically dominate this list within 2.5 years. Go from one entrant in 9th place to having a bunch of entrants. The only possible way they can do that, right? BYD's got 2nd place, 4th place, 6th place, 7th place, and somehow Volkswagen is going to surpass that, right? Same with Tesla. And it just doesn't add up. These numbers are not adding up. Where's all this production going to magically come from? I mean, we're going to be going from very, very small numbers to astronomical numbers within 2.5 years. Is that really realistic? Now, I'll end with this. World plug-in vehicle sales, right? Top models from January to May of 2022. That covers the first 5 months of this year. It's going to make Tesla look bad. I think Tesla sales will rebound significantly. Deliveries will rebound significantly over the rest of the year. But anyway, regardless, doesn't matter. Everyone said their challenges, right? BYD less so. But anyway, number 1, Tesla Model Y, 215,000. Tesla Model 3, 165,000 in second. Wuling Hongguang Mini EV, 161,000 in third. Then you got BYD, then BYD, then BYD, then BYD, then BYD, then Volkswagen, right, with 46,900. A fraction of the number of sales that Tesla and BYD are doing. Surely somebody has to investigate Bloomberg NEF. Surely there's some ulterior motive. There has to be. That's the only way I can make sense of it. But let me know what you think. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe my maths are just like, maybe my math skills suck. Maybe they really suck and I'm just in denial. Please let me know. Send me an email. Send me a message on Facebook, message in the Facebook group, whatever. I don't care. Just tell me what I'm missing because clearly I'm missing something.